September 21st, Tuesday, 2021 session of the North Carolina Property Tax Commission. We had a little bit of technical difficulties getting all the commissioners joined online, but I think we have everybody connected one way or the other. Welcome, everyone. Let me introduce the commissioners first. Handles Alexander.
Chairman, I don't know if you can hear me, but you're
breaking up.
We didn't hear anything that you said after we're starting the session today, and you were going to introduce everybody.
Oh, okay. Well,
so I think if you just reintroduce, we might be good to go.
All right. If it starts breaking up, somebody raise their hand. I can see Steve and you and Alex without changing my screen. I'm on my iPhone, and because I couldn't get in on the computer. If this will work, if not, maybe I'll have to go get my iPad and try that. But let's see if this will work. Welcome, everybody. As I said, to Tuesday, September 21st, 2021 session of the North Carolina Property Tax Commission. We have with us today Vice Chairman Terry Wheeler, Commissioner Bill Peasley, Commissioner Alex Guest, Commissioner June Michaud. Our counsel is Steve Pelfrey, and our staff person and web host is Alexander Bendet. Okay, looks like that came through. Okay. The calendar today originally had a case in Wake County, Lawrence and Phyllis Tamako. And that case has been settled. We also had from Wake County, Vi Raleigh LLC, and that case has been settled. Those were the two cases that we had for hearing today, and they've both been settled. Originally, when this session was set, we were going to be having an in-person session in Raleigh, and due to the COVID restrictions, we had to go to a virtual session. For that in-person session, we had a complex case of the Carolina Panthers Stadium in Charlotte, the appeal on that matter. And when we had to go virtual, the parties requested continuance due to the fact they felt like it needed to be in person with complexity and the number of witnesses. And we continued that case, which we expected the ethics statements.
Mr. Chairman, we lost you during the last 20 or 30 seconds.
And Steve and I went to virtual, and at some point, January 1st. Steve, can you hear me?
Mr. Chairman, if you can hear me. No, sir, we lost you for about a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
Steve?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yes,
All right.
An option for this is if Mr. Chairman, if you could provide me his phone number, I can call him. I mean, we'll lose the video, but he'll be in through the phone just talking.
Okay.
I don't know if that is helpful.
Yeah, if it keeps doing it, we can do that. The phone number is 828-442-7000.
Hold on,
seven.
hold
I
on,
don't,
hold on, hold on. hold on.
don't
We're
put your phone
streaming.
number on the internet, Mr. Chairman.
Here,
I can,
Yeah, Steve, if you'll just email it to me, that would be good, or message me or whatever. Don't
sure.
see your phone number on the internet, Mr. Chairman. Everybody's gonna be calling you.
I don't know who.
What was the password to your Venmo account?
Right.
I'm gonna try again to see if I can get in on my computer.
I got the last 4 digits, but what was the first part of the social security number?
8888.
Okay.
Maybe it's 1888.
Mr. Peasley, you looked like a mime there for a bit.
I guess if you keep the mute on and do that, yeah, I guess it works, doesn't
Right. Just need to get one of those black and white striped shirts and a beret, right?
it? Steve, you may want to run by agency counsel, but query whether using the chat or the Q&A in WebEx, whether you are able to archive that. And if you can't archive it, then I know with the IC, we don't use it. We shut it off.
All
Just a
right.
thought.
Am I in now? As far as I'm hearing y'all, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. So unfortunately, you won't get to see my face this morning, or fortunately. And all right, we'll continue on. With the iPhone, it was going in and out for some reason. Don't understand. But anyway, let's continue on. I think we got through where the calendar was, and I think that was went out okay. And then we were talking about the sessions from now on until January the 1st, which I had said Steve and I have talked, and from everything initially, it looks like we have to go virtual through the end of December for our hearings. And then we'll take a look before then to see about what happens after January 1st. Steve, you want to update us on anything concerning that? And since we've talked, and
Sure. One of the main things that prompted that was that it appeared that, well, for one thing, DOR facilities are basically closed to the public through the end of the year. Appointments are allowed and so forth, but there is a general prohibition on group gatherings. So that's part of the issue with meeting at the DOR facility. The other thing is that it's possible to have another location, but where we had planned to meet, at least for September, had that been an in-person meeting, was still a DOR facility. And so it just seemed that from the information as far as what's available to us facility-wise that we can count on, it would be at least preferable to everyone if we were able to meet virtually. We also have had some inquiries from appellants. Some, especially the more complex cases, really prefer an in-person hearing, but a lot of folks, because of pandemic or just personal preference reasons, would prefer a virtual hearing. It's more convenient for them and so forth. So in fact, the appellant that is scheduled for hearing tomorrow had specifically asked for a virtual hearing, so we were able to offer that. But in any event, you know, when the commissioner and I, or the chairman and I talked about this, clearly the numbers were on the increase and so forth. Maybe they've leveled out, or maybe they're heading down. It's kind of hard to say, but it just seemed like taking a step back again from in-person hearings might be prudent right now.
So at least we'll go in person. I mean, excuse me, we'll not go in person. We'll be virtual for October. If things change in DOR issues, another statement about lessening the restrictions and things improve, then we can, I guess, take a look about perhaps November or December. But things would need to change for us to be able to go back in person. I think, Steve, that ruling was through the end of the year, wasn't it? But I guess they could go back and revise it.
Sure, they could, and a decision that, well, for planning purposes, it helps us DOR to know as far ahead of time what to expect for virtual or in person, because if we know that, for example, the rest of the year is going to be virtual, then we know also that, or it's likely that some of the bigger cases that right now are scheduled through the end of the year would probably request a continuation. They would probably prefer to be heard in person, because it's just easier to manage a more complex case, I guess, if everybody's all together.
Sure.
So,
well, what's your recommendation? At least October, we need to go virtual. What about November and December? Do we need to decide that now, or what's your recommendation?
I would say that if we could decide it now, that would be best. If you want to hold open that possibility, we could also tentatively plan to be virtual through the rest of the year and let these larger case appellants know this is likely to be virtual but could change. At least give them a heads up about that, because some of them will have, you know, experts making travel plans and stuff like that.
Sure.
Assuming that it would be an in-person hearing. So if we let them know ahead of time it's likely to be virtual, then we may know, at least as to those cases, that they should be pushed off into next year.
Okay, well, let's do that then.
Okay.
And if something happens and it gets back, you can tell them if they still want to have it heard when they reschedule. If we can go back live in person, we can do that, or we could continue it.
Okay.
But that we expect to be virtual through the end of the year.
Okay.
And then we'll probably have some more information when we meet in October. Okay. Others have comments, suggestions on that? I can't see you, so if you've got something, just chime in. I'm not hearing anything, so all right. Well, Steve, is there anything else we need to talk about in our executive session? I mean, in our public session?
No, sir, not that I can think of.
All right. Well, we've got some internal things to talk about, so if the commissioners can stay on, and Alexandra, if you can take us back to our executive session, unless some of the other commissioners have something else they feel like we need to discuss in our public session. Okay, Alexandra.
Okay, yep, just give me 1 minute and I will get us off of the live stream.